Hey!
Hey, everybody!
Welcome to Figures Not Included live at WonderCon.
From the abandoned booth.
We, on a last whim, decided to come to WonderCon. We
Spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment.
No planning, no, we just packed one of those little satchels, put it on the back of a stick,
Yeah.
hiked on a train,
Yeah.
hitchhiked
Like classic hobos.
hobos
you know?
to WonderCon. WonderCon.
We're not the first people to call it Comic-Con by accident.
Well, I mean,
That
it is
happens a
part
lot.
of Comic-Con,
Technically
Comic-Con
true.
does
Right.
put it on, but
Yeah.
this con has been actually very refreshing. It's very reminiscent of older, maybe like 90s, early 2000s conventions where the focus is more on comics and comic book creators, action figures, pop culture, stuff like that. So it's actually been really nice. A lot of the conventions we've been to have kind of gotten taken over by the voice actors, the celebrity signings, the B-list celebrities and stuff like that.
A lot of B-list celebrities out there now at Comic-Con. It's not as bombastic.
Not that that's a bad thing. It's just,
San Diego.
very different thing. And it's been
different vibe.
Yeah, different
a lot
vibe
more chiller,
altogether.
easier to walk around. Good for our old bones, our old soggy.
Old soggy bones.
It takes a lot for us to go around and browse. But we were able to do everything. We did a lot of interviews.
We did. We got
cool
some
companies.
Really good interviews. Michael here tackled Jada Toys. Spoke to our friend June. Great guy.
Good friend.
Really great friend of mine. Not so much Mikey's. But
trying to.
That was a really great interview. Check it out. Figure Report.
Yeah, Figures Not Included. Obviously
Figures Not
on this
Included.
channel right now, you can watch
We're
that
on
interview. We also talked to Mondo. So, before we kind of go to our interview, you can go, if you're watching, you're on the YouTube channel watching this right now.
Watch it.
Once you're done with this, you can scroll down and look at our interviews, and that's all fun stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
But yeah, WonderCon was just such a fun experience. It just really laid back. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it sort of went better than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I definitely thought the same thing. We kind of were jumped in. What would you say? Feet first? Head
I would say balls first.
Balls first?
Yeah.
So we just jumped in there.
Cannonball,
gooch first.
All gooch. It's all gooch.
We threw ourselves in there, but actually we came out, pretty happy with the trip. It's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, WonderCon has been a really refreshing experience with so many great things happening here and just a great chill vibe where you can enjoy it. There's people, but the crowds aren't so hectic and crazy like some of the bigger cons like San Diego. So we've just really been having a good time. A lot of great people we met up here. A lot of other collaborators of yours.
Yeah, a lot of other fellow toy tubers. Some I like, some I don't like. You know who you are, Wade. But we had a really great time. Let's recap day one. We get here Friday morning. We're in line. We're in line for badges to pick those up. We didn't know we had to form a line for badges.
We didn't really know what was going on, We just kind of let's
wandering
walk out
around
there.
like chickens, no heads.
They told us to go to that line, go around this building, this and that. But we found our way. And we decided, hey, we're here. Let's just, wait for the line. But it worked out because we actually were one of the first people in that day.
Yeah.
Which was super, super cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was such a fun experience. I mean, what did you think of walking up to, WonderCon, seeing the big convention center with the WonderCon thing?
I was sleepy.
Yeah,
I wasn't really thinking it in. I was just sort of like, what's
too
happening
early for
right
you.
now? Well, like you said, we planned this last minute, so sort of prepping my mind for a long trip from New York to LA, and then from LA sitting in the airport for 7 hours, sort of losing my mind a little bit.
A little intense. Not well thought through.
Not well thought through, but that's how we do it on Figures Not Included.
Yeah,
we are the dimmest minds in the toy world.
Dimmest minds of the toy world coming together to bring you toy, excitement.
Toy excitement and all the rage.
Fun.
All the toy rage. And so, kind of coming in Friday morning, was a little aloof, but we were waiting in line for a little bit, and, we're there. I mean, overall, we waited about 3 hours, I think, but it passed by pretty quickly.
It went pretty quick.
It wasn't too bad.
Lots of stuff, a lot of people to look at, a lot of cosplayers, people in costumes.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting things.
The worst part, obviously, is waiting in line. Because you never know how long they're going to be.
That's always the worst part about cons.
Life, really.
Life is just a big giant waiting in a line
really
to die.
I wasn't gonna go that far, but it's really morbid. But
sometimes. I mean, that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like when you wait in line at Comic-Con.
It's pretty much just like a condensed version at most cons.
Yeah.
Just waiting in line.
But at the end, there is a nice little reward, which
we got some really fun rewards.
We went, which is the Mondo stuff. We went straight to Mondo.
Mondo was so great. Got to Mondo. I was actually looking for my Mondo 1/6 scale Rogue from the X-Men line. I missed out on that limited edition one. I always kind of wanted it. I didn't want to just get the regular one. Luckily, they brought a few. I was able to grab one this morning. I mean,
this is Saturday. So Friday he goes and they say, sorry, we don't have.
Oh, they didn't make it in on time. Maybe tomorrow, come back early. I'm like, I don't know if I want to wait another 3-hour line to get here early, but
yeah.
We worked it out. We kind of just took our time, and what was gonna be, and it worked out.
And it was definitely beat. So it beat. He was able to acquire his Rogue today, which is great. And it sort of all worked out. Again, this kind of goes to the fact that this is not San Diego Comic-Con levels of intensity, of crowds.
Yeah. This would have probably gone very differently if this was San Diego. It would have been a nightmare.
Oh, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But nevertheless, we got to go check out the Mondo stuff. That booth was incredible.
Fun. I mean, we had such a great time there. They showed us so many fun stuff, so many great reveals. Mondo really did. They told us they were bringing their A game, and they really delivered. I mean, we saw some really fun stuff. I know a lot of people are waiting on those next X-Men reveals. They're like, why is it taking so long?
Yeah.
We got,
salivating at the mouth.
Two amazing reveals, Nightcrawler and Mr. Sinister.
Sinister.
Can't wait to get those, And, just some other great, Masters of the Universe, they're just excelling with that line.
Yeah.
They killed us with the reveal of the Goddess.
The Goddess was one that you were just free.
Yeah.
So the Goddess was basically the impetus of coming out here, the one.
It's probably what really, lit the fire under our high knees.
So we were like, we gotta go to WonderCon. We gotta get that. We gotta get the Wolverine, like the Pride of the X-Men Wolverine.
So many cool stuff we wanted to grab.
We're gonna get our tickets. We're gonna find the hotel. We got everything secured, and we find out it's an online exclusive.
Online exclusive.
And we're like,
oh, great. We just, made all non-refundable,
plane tickets to hotel and badges.
But
it all worked out, though.
It was still worth it. I'm telling you, we were able to snag those online anyway as we waited in line to get in.
Yep.
And then we just got to go, and there were other fun exclusives to get, so we got that stuff. We hit Jada. They had great, fun stuff to look at. They had the Fei Long exclusive. We snagged that.
They had the Target Player 2 Guile, which that thing sold out. That was surprising how many people wanted that. Yeah, you
figured, that one would be available at Targets later on, but Guile, you cannot, underestimate the fandom behind Guile. He
Street Fighter
sold out, really, really quickly.
Yes.
Fei Long's still sitting around being the exclusive that you can't get anywhere else for now.
Well, you can get it on Jada website.
You could get it.
So you can. So maybe
that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what have been
accessibility.
The accessibility, because you can't get Guile right now.
You can't get the
A lot of people have Sagat already pre-ordered on Big Bad or Entertainment, or I do my pre-orders at Hidden Temple Toys.
Hidden Temple Toys definitely coming in soon. Although we were able to get the drop, I grabbed a couple while I was here. We're bringing them to the store, so a few lucky people might be able to snag one early.
Yeah.
And I got that Fei Long exclusive coming, so some cool Jada
some
stuff.
Really cool stuff that you're bringing from LA to North Carolina.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Into the world.
Into the world. Going back to the Mondo. I gotta say, the Goddess figure was really, really amazing. Yeah. Seeing it up close, a lot of people originally were like, "Oh, is it just a repaint of Tila, kind of like the Origins, figure was and everything?" But it's really not. They really kind of reworked that figure into something completely new. The head sculpts are completely new. The accessories, a lot of the stuff is new. The soft goods and decoration they put on her, just really, really outstanding figure. I think when people see her in the flesh.
In your flesh,
you're going to be like, wow, this is a really impressive figure. Talking to Hector at Mondo, he even said it was probably one of his favorites they've done.
Yeah.
So that says a lot there.
Shout out to Hector, super cool dude.
Amazing
we reached out
guy.
to him before we got here, and he was helping us arrange an interview with him. And so we did the whole booth tour. This was after we went to the Mondo panel, that's where we saw all the reveals. Because in the booth, when you're there, we got there in the morning, they had the Nightcrawler on display. They had teased it before, but now to see it in person looked incredible. They had the Manny faces. They had the Mumra. We'll get to the Mumra in a second.
Another
My favorite what I saw was the Motu 2000X is it 200X or 2000X? I always mess up.
2000X.
Just why not? 2000X He-Man 112 scale. That thing.
I mean, you love that thing. I mean, you could not take your eyes off of it.
I mean, my pants almost fell off.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I know you like Masters of the Universe, but I never thought of you as like a huge, like, I love Motu.
Well, I collected the whole Mattel line.
You did, though.
Of Motu.
Yeah, I guess that makes
that
sense.
new version of Motu. So I was all in on that. So it just sort of, it took me back to that place. And that's cool. That is the appeal of a lot of their things. It sort of takes you back to that stage in your life when you were a kid and you were collecting these awesome X-Men toys and
the 2000X line, that was
Motu stuff, and real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I forgot about that.
It was just unexpected for me, and a lot of people have been asking them for it. Now that they're going into the 112 world with real Ghostbusters, it just makes all the sense for them to take what they have in Motu, scale it down, and now you have a brand new 112 line, which is very scary.
So cool. So yeah, check it out. Our interview with Hector. You get a good, nice, an up close look. You get to hear what he has to say about it. So definitely check that out.
So we go to the panel, and who we meet there is Toy Shiz.
Yeah, we just randomly go. Mikey's like, "Hey, let's sit back here," and I'm like, "No, let's get front row seats. Let's get up there."
Yeah.
So we're like, "All right, let's move." We sit down. We look to the left of us. Toy Shiz.
Toy Shiz, and I wasn't sure if I say hi or whatever, but everyone's really cool except Wade. He's a total scumbag. But Toy Shiz was awesome. We said hello
what a great chance to meet him. He always puts up such great content.
Such a gentleman.
Such a gentleman.
And he gave us
not only was he such a great dude, and it was just fun talking to him.
Generous dude.
But so generously, he bestowed upon us $100, entertainment earth
ticket, their golden ticket, a la Willy Wonka.
A la Willy Wonka. Toy Shiz, you are the Willy Wonka of the toy community. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So shout out to Toy Shiz. That was a really cool moment. That was just the prelude to the whole Mondo panel. And so they started off with, a cool sizzle reel, showing off just all the stuff they've done before, and then just go in guns a-blazing. They show off a lot of their vinyl stuff.
So much stuff.
A lot of, just different art pieces that they're working on that they have for sale, actually, and then they go into the reviews.
It's true. I mean, they wowed us with so many great things. Like I said, you can see it all on our interview there. But man, such really cool stuff. Yeah. And the stuff they didn't show, they just kind of teased that was like the Superman license, that they got. They're doing animated
Superman. The 1/6 Superman, the animated series,
That's a huge one that I think a lot of people are going to be happy about.
Absolutely.
What was the other one? There was a couple more that they put on there that we were really happy about. It was Superman.
Well, it was Superman the Animated Series. That was a big one. They showed off more of the Motu line.
Yeah, but no, what was the one that they were really excited about that we had to look up because we hadn't heard about it, but he said...
Oh, something once over the wall.
Once over the wall?
Once over the wall. If you want to pull it up on your phone.
It's something like that.
Something like that.
We'll put a little thing to tell you exactly what it is.
Right here.
Here. Anyway, check it out. It looked really cool. They seem to be very excited. I'm actually excited about how excited they were.
Yeah, it's such an interesting animated.
For me to want to go look at it.
Yeah.
Right up our alley.
Alex that worked there, he was super into it. You could tell just by his reaction how
so excited.
How much of a passion he had for that property.
We're definitely going to check that out as well.
Yeah, and they showed off more of the Motu stuff, some renders. They showed off Clawful, Skeletor, of course, and Men at Arms. So they're fully invested in this line, it seems like. And, they talked about pricing. It seems they'll be in the Mezco world.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
So that gives you an idea of what it could be. Maybe a little bit cheaper than real Ghostbusters.
Hopefully.
Mezco can ebb, from 80 to 120 depending on what's included. So we'll see what the final price will be. I guess we'll get more info when San Diego Comic-Con comes around.
Yeah, they say
they're still excited.
It was cool. Yeah, they told us that they were definitely, they brought a big showing here, and they were planning to bring just as big, if not bigger, showing to Comic-Con. So, definitely excited to see what's going to happen. What reveals they're going to wow us with at that.
We were wowed at that panel. I'm sure we'll be wowed again. So that was really cool. Going on to Jada, was another big company here in the toy world. They revealed their Frosty the Snowman, which is the cool thing about Jada. They do a lot of things that
so whimsical. The choices that they make,
a little unexpected, but it does feel in line. They do the mascot stuff Frosty the Snowman, Field and Line. You know, they obviously do all the Capcom things as well.
Yeah. I like that they do that.
I like the different things that they can do.
Yeah, they have really cool like action figures, action-based kind of things.
Yeah.
But they also do kind of like fun, neat things like, you know, like the Frosty, you know, like the, you know, Tony the Tiger. They've done like
Flintstones.
Count Chocula. They've done, what's his name? Frankenberry. So really just kind of neat things. One of my favorite ones that my kids love is Chester Cheetah.
Yeah.
We got the glow-in-the-dark version, which is really fun for the flaming hot Cheetos. So just kind of really cool characters that they can make into action figures. Like a good idea is like, hey man, you know, you don't really think about them in any sort of capacity for like cartoons or action or anything. But you just say, hey, that's Chester Cheetah. That's a cool character.
Yeah.
I bet you he'd make a really neat toy, and he does. He makes a really cool toy.
It never crossed my mind, but just, you know, to the people that work at Jada, shout out to June. Just the way you know they think about how can we incorporate this and make this into a cool action figure, and they've really done that. They're doing that with their mascot stuff. We also have an interview with June that we did on Friday as well. So that's posted, so you can watch that. Really exciting news, some teases, and we'll get to that in a moment. But so we went to Scooby-Doo, walked over and saw Scooby-Doo Wave 1 figures.
That was fun to check them out and see them there. Really nice looking figures, you know. The scale of the mummy was kind of exciting for me. It was like, it's a big mummy, you know, it's like a oversized kind of figure compared to the main cast. Yeah. There's something special with that mummy, and you know, it was a shame that they never got to complete their Universal Monsters line. They did show off a mummy, so in this way, they kind of made their own version of that mummy. Yeah, it was fun just kind of chatting with June and kind of getting a little bit like a history of Jada and like his work there. And like cool things like that, because I told them like the Universal Monster line was so cool.
Yeah,
it was like what really got me into Jada action figures, because I couldn't believe how well made they were, and just to hear like his little story behind those things.
Their first figures ever were so well done. It's amazing.
So really neat stuff, and that's what I really liked about WonderCon is that we just got to meet really fun people, hear really cool stories.
Yeah,
I mean we actually just got off a panel today where we got to hear Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane,
Thought Father.
Just kind of reminisce about their, you know, coming of age and getting into the comic book
how they entered the comic book world and where they met that apex, where they crossed, you know, paths, and you know, how they started Image and all the behind the scenes of that.
Yeah, it was just such a neat thing, and it was cool because it wasn't really planned. They're just like, hey, we're gonna be there together. Let's make a panel and talk.
Yeah. Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Just kind of like
we are the Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee of podcasting.
We'll let you decide who's who.
Exactly.
But anyway, but yeah, it was so cool. It was such a great idea. Like I said, we talked to Joe, we talked to Hector, we met you know, some other really great people. We saw the people from Spero, behind Spero.
Yes.
So much fun to talk about.
And Warriors of the Kingdom. I missed out on the Mongrel.
What a great figure. I grabbed it.
I was Mongreling over that.
I told this guy, snooze you lose, but you know.
Super snooze.
He
slept past my snooze alarm. And I got a little tense, you know. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to get this. Like, I got the Sagat, I got the Blue Guile, and, you know, I try to be conservative. You know, we were even gifted a few Funko things.
That was really nice of Funko, and I guess, you know, whole Mondo Funko. What's the other one? Loungefly. They're all working together there, and so that was really sweet of them. They just handed us some cool
for my wife,
exclusives.
You know?
He was able to snag something for his wife. Although I have been telling him to grab her some other really neat stuff, but he's like, nah, she don't need nothing.
She doesn't need nothing. I even told her about it, and she was like, why'd you get me that? I tried to do something nice, but it's just because, I mean, she's not a toy collector, let alone a pop collector, but, you know, it's the thought that
women,
counts,
right?
I'm not saying that, but it was really nice of Funko to do that. They were cool people. June was super cool at Jada. So we go through the Scooby-Doo stuff to kind of backtrack what we were talking about. Scooby-Doo stuff looks great. Wave 2, we're going to get a Scooby.
Finally, Scooby. That was cool to hear that he's coming next.
Yeah, he's coming next.
You got to have Scooby and Shaggy together.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the most necessary ones. And obviously, you need the full team of the whole Scooby-Doo gang, and
that was great that he said that. He's like, we're committed.
We're committed to at least 5 waves.
You know what we didn't talk to June about, which would have been cool, and I kind of heard some people talking about this. Hey, Jada.
Booth? Can I get your signature?
I know. Right here. We have a little sketch drawing.
brick something over there shouting this out. You never know who you're going to run into.
You never know. That's what's so fun about here. You're just walking around. It's only boom, someone else I'm going to talk to.
So you're saying about Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. People are talking about like, hey, Jada does cars. You know, that's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
How about not like do, you know, that for some of their action figure designs? How cool would it be if Jada did a 1/12 scale mystery machine?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That could be a cool idea.
I mean, I think you know, definitely. I think that's definitely a good point to be brought up. And obviously they've been making cars for 10, 15 years. They're the premier brand for that kind of thing. So to go into the 1/12 scale would be cool. He has said that they're sort of just focused on the figures at the moment. But, you know, that potential is obviously there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's cool because you can connect the dots on that one.
Yeah.
You know, also like to do like an old crash test dummy car, you know, that like they can do when Ryu starts punching it and the pieces break.
Whenever I think about cars and vehicles for figures, my mind always goes to crash test dummies. I don't know why.
It's just so much fun.
I mean, you used to have them. I used to play with them all the time. You still have them. They're just such cool figures. I've always wanted the company to go back and do crash test dummies.
But they got to make them like they used to because they were so well done.
And they could explode in your hand. I mean, there's fantastic.
But no, think about Jada makes a cool little car that, you know, Guile can, you know, flash kick and the whole front fender blows off.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing.
I would like them to do that.
I would love that too. I'm sure those conversations have been had, and he alludes to those, and I think it was a Toy Kind of Mood that did an interview.
There's really a lot of neat stuff that you hear behind the scenes of things that are in the works, in discussions, in some form of, you know, acknowledgement that, you know, it might, you know, it's been discussed. So you never know. You know, that's the fun thing about making toys. It's like, sky's the limit, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. Even going back to Mondo, we asked them if they would do big scale stuff for the real Ghostbusters line.
Yeah, that was a really cool...
The Ecto 1, the Stay Puft, the Firehouse. And
Firehouse would be so much fun.
You know, he wasn't quiet. He was saying, like, we could
we've talked about it. We think it's a possibility, you know, in this scale.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, here's hoping for some really neat stuff in the future, you know.
Yeah, I think, you know, we can talk about big scale projects, something like Bayathere, you know. I think it just opens a whole new door of what's possible. If these companies realize, there are people that are willing, and look, obviously the Dragon is one of the biggest things and products and toys that someone would want in that kind of big scale. Having a Dragon of that scale, people willing to spend essentially $1,000 on the toy makes other companies probably think, hey, we could also do big projects.
Maybe there's something in our realm that people will be willing to do that.
I mean, Super 7 has done it. This isn't a new thing. You know, Super 7 has done it with Cat's Lair and Snake Mountain, and you know, and HasLab has obviously done their big projects as well. But
the crowdfunding, you know, element has really helped too. To like the people that want it can get it. You know, the people see that, you know, there's enough support. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So with those elements and companies, you know, like that, jumping on and making some like extraordinary, you know, figures and play sets and all that, we can definitely see, you know, some seriously cool things coming in the future, you know, if that kind of, you know.
I mean, like you said, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. If people demand it, you know, I think we'll definitely see some really, really neat stuff to come.
100%.
That's you know, that's what's fun about, you know, WonderCon and talking to the companies here and checking out all the stuff. Is the excitement behind the people that are making it, you know, the excitement of the consumer who really wants to get it in their hands, and the possibilities, you know, of things that come. Yeah, you've been a little gassy.
A little gassy. I've been really gassy this trip. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
It's the air pressure is still stuck in my body.
I think it is. The airplane ride
just like kind of like burping casually right now.
It's like you were like a puffer fish. You know, it just kind of bloated you out, and you haven't been able to.
I'm like stuck in dry land.
You need some Gas-X.
I need some Gas-X. Gas-X. Sponsor us.
Sponsor.
I could use some right now.
They could.
No, for sure. There's so many cool things that Mondo and Jada can do, and they're doing cool things as it is. So, but the possibilities are definitely endless. Going back to Jada, Mega Man is my bread and butter. It's my jam, my jelly.
So high. I was really hoping we were gonna see some like really cool Mega Man stuff. I know they did the stuff for Street Fighter, but hey. You know, that doesn't mean that in the future there might not be something really cool Mega Man related.
If you watch the interview, I press him. I put the full court press on June.
He did.
And I'm trying to get the skinny, see?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I talk like that, but I try to get the juice from the fruit.
Squeeze the fruit.
I'm trying to squeeze the fruit of June. That's terrible. I don't know. I want that sweet juice, baby. Trying to squeeze that fruit. And so, asking about what can we expect from Mega Man? Are we going to go with X? Because I love X. There's so many characters you can do from both series.
Yeah.
And I think this has been a highly requested item is to get an exclusive Mega Man at Comic-Con.
So what was really cool is that, you had that conversation, you had those hard questions for him, and he just kind of told us, keep your eyes on San Diego Comic-Con.
On the prize, yeah.
That's what he said. We don't know what that meant, but...
And that was not just for Mega Man, that was also for Street Fighter.
That's right.
So,
I mean, that's exciting, It's like we don't know exactly what he's telling us, but I'm going to keep my eyes posted on San Diego Comic-Con to see maybe we get a little surprise from Jada.
I mean, that won't be the only surprise. Obviously, Invincible is one of the biggest headlines in the news that Jada Toys acquired the license.
I'm super excited. I've just almost caught up on season 3. It kind of reignites, how cool Invincible story is and how cool the characters are. So we know how good Jada has made their toys. I did a little thing on our last podcast about their cyberpunk figures. Just how amazingly well done they are.
Lucy's so good.
Lucy's such a great figure. But knowing that Jada will tackle and the quality of their figures going into Invincible figures, I think we're going to get a really cool line. I think people that are a fan of Invincible are going to really, really love what Jada does with this. I see them.
You're going to love the way they look.
You're going to love it. I guarantee it.
Guarantee it. Absolutely. It's very exciting. Obviously, they're not going to say anything right now. They're going to do a big reveal.
Yeah.
That is
very close to the chest.
Highly anticipated.
The seeds were planted.
The seeds were definitely planted in that one.
Yeah,
we're going to watch them blossom and bloom.
Blossom into a beautiful young woman like you did, Michael.
I pride myself in being the young, beautiful woman that I am now.
Young
bearded,
furry woman.
Lady.
Lady man.
My parents always envisioned. So super excited for what Invincible, for what Jada is going to do with Invincible. I think we can all see the paint on the wall for that one.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
I don't know if that's the actual phrase. But yeah, so then we go to Street Fighter. Street Fighter has been their biggest line in the 112 world. They showed off Vega finally in packaging.
That was really cool.
That looked really cool. He went into the whole explanation of the claws and why.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Something that I hadn't really considered. I just thought it was like a design choice, but the fact that the claws being gold was specifically something they had to do because of licensing.
Yep.
It's really just cool to hear what really goes behind into making these
figures. Yeah, you don't really know what's involved.
You don't know what it is, and you think it could be just like a trivial thing. But no, there was actually like some sort of, corporate reasoning behind why, this thing was this color and not that color. Yeah. Very interesting. Very cool to hear that story.
Yeah, it was really cool to hear that. And those figures look awesome. We opened the Sagat while we were here, and that thing.
I could not.
He almost broke
myself.
my hand throwing a Sagat in my hand.
I didn't throw it.
You dropped it. It was like an anvil.
It's not my fault that you're a fragile.
I'm a fragile young woman. We established this.
With brittle bones.
Brittle bones. Absolutely brittle. But that thing had some weight, hefty.
He dropped out of my hand.
Great figure.
Shattered your knuckles.
Yep. But it was like, this is a great figure with my fingers dangling.
Because it showed us what an amazing figure he is and what, real sturdy, plastic
material
Jada's been using.
Yeah, absolutely. So it just, wave after wave. They don't do waves necessarily now with Street Fighter, but figure after figure, they just increase in the quality, and they're only going to get better. He was talking about how Akuma is the next figure after Vega. Akuma's going to have, he said, a Mayfek sort of style, a butterfly cut, so he can actually do the full Hadouken, and he can move his arms a little bit.
That was really cool. Another aspect
vertically.
Kind of learning about what it takes to put these figures out. It's like they're constantly improving on it. He put out like Ken and Ryu, and like they were good. But he we need to do a little bit better. We need to be able to get the full Hadouken in there and stuff. So they engineered all new butterfly joints, to be able to get that. So it's not like they're like, well, okay, we got the style, we got the bucks, let's just keep making them out. It is what it is. No, he was like, we're going to keep improving them as they go along.
Yeah.
So very
Exactly.
cool. Excited to see Akuma.
Yeah, and with the toe joint, we talked about it. It's a guy having the toe joint, and he said every time they do a new improvement, that continues with all the figures. So Akuma, any barefoot type of figure, will have that toe articulation.
It's kind of what we talked about on one of our shows about, like, why doesn't Hasbro just implement all their great new additions into the modern figures? It's like they just keep going back with older stuff.
Yeah, it sort of oscillates between old figures, some updated one, and then the brand new mold that they have. And there's no rhyme or reason why. They explain it like, oh, these are planned well in advance, and it's a big machine of a company, and so
it's probably not as easy.
But still, it just feels.
But it's good to see Jada. Can do it, and they're like saying we're going to push all our improvements to the next figures. We're not going to go backwards on anything.
Exactly.
So that's kind of neat. Forward thinking.
Yes.
Forward and onward, as
forward
they say.
and onward, as they would say. Exactly. Yeah. So super excited I say excited a lot. That's sort of the word of the day. Like you say fantastic, I say excited.
I'm fantastic. You're excited.
So Mr. Excited.
It all means good.
It all means good in the hood over here.
Yeah.
So Jada Toys absolutely crushed it.
Yeah. Really
Street Fighter stuff is coming down the pipeline. Basically, a year from today, or early 26, we will have the full Street Fighter 2 wave in our hands.
Which is amazing to hear.
How does that feel?
I mean, that feels incredible.
It feels
the whole
fantastic.
roster in your hands,
In your fleshy
little
sausage
finger hands. You're gonna hold the whole lineup, which is really.
Do you guys have sausage finger hands?
I think so.
Can you point them to the camera like this? No, yeah, there you go.
You tell us. Are these sausages or are they normal? You'll decide.
You'll decide. Sausage
like
hand.
the fate of Robin. Decide.
Yeah, it's so exciting to feel like there's going to be a finality to an actual Street Fighter line.
It's kind of neat because you don't really get that with action figures. They come out and you don't know if they're going to finish something, if they're going to continue it after a certain amount, and this and that. But yeah, it feels like there will be. It's like a good 24 episode run of a show that has a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
And you can be satisfied with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to satisfaction in completing an amazing Street Fighter 2 lineup, man.
And we'll see what else, because they have other plans for Street Fighter. They can obviously go into Alpha. June is a big MVC fan, and he's talked to Capcom, and he mentioned in our interview about doing other Capcom properties. Resident Evil, apparently, it's just a really hard license to crack and to get for whatever reason. Not sure why, but there's other.
I think they're going to figure it out. I think we're going to get something cool.
Hopefully.
I mean, maybe not everything, but I think we're going to get some really cool versions of some really cool characters.
Well, especially in the Versus series.
Exactly.
So you can get a Jin, you can get a Strider, Captain Commando. Those are three heavily needed characters in the MVC.
Oh, I would love to see those figures.
MVC,
I think people will be super. Don't forget, what was the name? Senor Amigo? What was the name?
Amigo. Yeah.
You guys love that guy, man. He used to torment me, fight me with that.
Amigo, Ruby Heart, all those. I mean, those would be great to have. They're so necessary, but you have to do. I think if you do the first MVC and get those characters out, then you can move on and do the ones from MVC too. But
and just other cool versions of Street Fighter characters. I love Alana would be awesome. I'm sure you like a Rashid or what is another one of
Cody.
That's Cody we talked about. Charlie we talked about.
Charlie. I need a Charlie. So Charlie's super important for me personally. I love Charlie.
Yeah.
So it's just insane to think about what else Jada has in store for us when it comes to Street Fighter and Mega Man and other Capcom and so many other stuff. Invincible, who knows what next, but they're just absolutely crushing it in such a limited amount of time with figures. So kudos to them.
Yeah, and like I said, they were playing everything very close to the chest, so we'll probably get a little more down the line. I think they'll probably loosen their lips a little more at San Diego Comic.
Love some loose lips.
Yeah. And they're going to sink those ships.
Yeah, sink those ships with some amazing toy news.
Amazing toy news.
What was your highlight of WonderCon?
Man, WonderCon was so great. Obviously, Mondo was probably the main reason I really wanted to come. I wanted to come see Mondo stuff. I wanted to talk to Mondo. And I'm going to say that was probably, they had just so many cool reveals, so many figures that I want. I was telling Hector, I was like, man, I think you guys are like catering this to me because you guys are putting out everything that I like. So very, very cool. That was probably, my, gem of the show. What about you? What are you thinking?
Gem of the show, I mean, I want to say Mondo too. I love Jada, but with Jada this time, it felt more like, oh, we're going to have a lot of stuff to show you at Comic.
Yeah, this was like a tease showing they did here.
Exactly.
Just a little something to wet the whistle, but not really quench the thirst.
Oh, no, yeah. No, I was definitely quenched by Mondo.
Yeah, Mondo
they
definitely
actually showed off a lot of
They
stuff.
dropped a bucket of water on us.
They did. I was covered.
Soaked, saturated,
soggy. I was a real soggy bottom boy. A soggy bottom lady now that we've established that I am.
Jada left us, just little drops, little eye drops of beverage. Wet those lips.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thirsty, baby. I'm still thirsty.
I'm thirsty for more.
Yeah.
Give us more, Jada.
And we'll be giving you more in Figures Not Included. But this is our recap of WonderCon. Any other last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, just I want to say it was fantastic. It was great. I got to do a little things more in the comic book realm, which was really, really nice.
Some graded comics.
I got some graded comics. I got some signed comics.
Yeah,
I got to do some. I got some
comic,
CGC submissions there. Maybe some cool stuff coming to Hidden Temple Toys if you guys are interested. Keep an eye out. That was really fun. But I will say another, we talked about going to see Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee talk. That was a really fun panel.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed hearing them talk. So that was really cool.
The unexpectedness of this convention was the best part. Not really sure how it was going to go, we had a sort of outline of what we wanted to do, but then other things started coming our way, running into other, creators, going to these panels, talking to these different people that work at these really great companies. It all sort of just came together in a really nice way.
Like I said, besides, the big ones, Mondo and Jada, I mean, we talked to Spero, we talked to Icon Heroes, Jiu-Jitsu was really great. We talked to Pat, he was a great guy, really cool line. You guys definitely need to check it out.
For sure.
Definitely really neat stuff. We talked, like Spero also told us more about their Bushido line on the way.
Yeah.
They say it's about a year out, from being in our hands. So I'm glad things are moving forward.
Absolutely.
That was really great to hear. And just, a lot of fun, a lot of cool vibes, a lot of great people here.
The greatest of all, Ed.
This guy.
This guy here.
This guy.
This guy makes dreams come true. He's a dream weaver, a dream maker.
My dreams came true when Michael was born and came into this world.
As a young, blossoming woman.
I don't know about that.
I still got a ways to go.
You still need to develop a little more there, Michael.
For Figures Not Included, I'm Mikey.
Ed. Michael.
Ed.
And sorry, all these great toys here. We wish we could bring them back to you guys, but like always, Figures Not Included. Because we're brothers.